I see a lot of videos on YouTube talking about burnout, and I wanted to talk a little bit about this issue and what I am trying to do, at least to try to avoid it, because I'm not making a video saying I have burned out and I don't want to do this anymore, but I can sort of see the signs, and I want to try to avoid it before it becomes a problem. And maybe my thoughts can maybe help you as well. And yeah, that's the basic premise of this video. It's also sort of a continuation of the video I made before, where I talked about time management as well. So you know that you can see that one video on my channel. This video is not scripted. I just have a few talking points, so it's going to be a little bit rambling. I hope you're up for that. I'm trying some new stuff here and make videos where I don't really write down everything what I have to say. I usually do that, but not this time. A lot of people have a lot of stuff they have to do. They have families that depend on them, kids, wives, maybe someone have a health problem. You just need to be there for your family. And if you want to be active on YouTube, you have to record videos, you have to plan the videos, you have to upload them. There's a lot of work, and if you want to grow your YouTube channel, you have to sort of be on top of that and upload videos at least consistently, so you see some growth, and also try to be better. Maybe you have another hobby like me, music production. I want to make music. I do that as well. Have to find time for that. When that's done, I need to promote my music. So I need to make ads and run all of that. That also takes time. And I don't know, why don't we just throw in a day job into the mix as well? I have a 100% day job where they expect the best from me, of course, and I try to deliver that. And in addition to that, you can add, well, I'm interested in gaming. I like to play some games. I like to watch some series on Netflix. And you know, you don't really have time for everything. And if you're going to sacrifice sleep, which I have done for many years, that can really affect your health. And that's really not that good in the long run. Avoiding burnout, for me, it's about the goals, really. What do you really want to do with your life? And I have been thinking about this because when I see, let's see, I see people that have retired, generally older people. Some of them just sit down in a chair and watch TV. And I mean, okay, you can do that. But I think that that's not something I want to do. And I have been sort of thinking about my goals, what I really want to achieve with everything here, with YouTube, music production, and yeah, talking to you through the camera. And I think my goal with this is to keep having, it feels really stupid actually, but it is actually the thing, and it's keep having fun with what I do. If talking to a camera like this behind my display and sort of visualizing that there are maybe 100 people behind this camera, if that's not fun anymore, I should really, just go up in the living room and play some games. It's just really that simple, because I think that the ultimate goal is, if you don't rely on any income, if you don't need any money to survive, if you have everything covered, what are you supposed to do then? Yeah, you're going out and buying a Lambo or a BMW or something. Yeah, that's fun, I guess, but it gets old after a while. I'm trying to build something that is sustainable and something I like to do in the years coming. I can do that because I'm not dependent on the income from YouTube or my music production or anything I do online. And I think that's sort of the crux with a lot of people, that they maybe quit their job too fast and you get really dependent on the income from YouTube, AdSense, courses and all of that you have to sell. And you sort of have to, I'm not saying that you don't want to make that type of content. I know that some people really do want to do that and they are really good at that, but you have to sort of rethink a little bit there. You have to do something that brings in the money to be able to sustain yourself. For me, if I have a day job, I don't really need to do that. So the ultimate goal, I want to be clear, the ultimate goal is at some point, if this can at least be a side income, so I can maybe reduce my hours from my day job or something like that. But it's not something I am stressing about. So this is also something I tell to my kids. I think it's important that they have a day job, but I don't want to take away dreams and goals if you want to do something, let's say creative, music production, painting, or whatever. I mean stuff that necessarily doesn't pay that much, or it's going to be replaced by AI. It's when you look at the market today and what's happening around the world, I think it's important to try to have a normal day job and focus on having that stable income, and then you can work on the other stuff on the side, which I am doing right now. Because if I look at, let's say, the music production space, if you have seen the latest video from Venus Theory, where he lays out how, for example, DistroKid behaves, and that's something I also have talked about on this channel before because it happened to me. But DistroKid, if you don't know what that is, it's just something that distributes your music to Spotify and stuff like that. It's basically that just a person, any person can just make a DistroKid account. You can upload just a stupid song and you can attach that song to whatever almost artist you want. And you don't have any sort of two-factor authentication or any sort of checks by DistroKid if this is all right. And the same thing is with people, malicious people can add your music to malicious playlists, for example in Spotify, and then they can report that playlist to DistroKid and they will take your entire music down. A lot of people have talked about this on YouTube. I think there was a video from a girl recently, I don't know what she is, but Ben Jordan, for example, that happened with him. And he had sort of had to go through back channels to the CEO of someone to get it reinstated again. And I mean, it's just so risky because I don't know if this is imposter syndrome or something like that, but I have had a few people telling me that I should just quit my job and focus on music production because they like the music I make. And that's just not something I am ready to do. It would be nice if you could, for example, trust DistroKid to not remove your music. But let's say if I don't have a day job, I get like $200. Let's say I get $200 from AdSense from YouTube. And yeah, my bulk of my income is from Spotify, $1,800 or something like that. Just imagine that. And just suddenly, because someone just wants to F with you, they report a playlist with your music on that they have added, and DistroKid just takes it down. And you're stuck with no income, you're stuck with nothing. And yeah, I think you can maybe get some burnout issues then because, okay, what are you going to do now? Well, you have to make more YouTube videos, you have to do this, you have to do that, you have to sort of pivot and think about other things. I think it's really, you have to think through really what you want to do before you at least quit your job or do something drastic. I guess we got to the rambling part. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to imagine that I'm already successful. Yeah, I know. But I feel like I'm actually already am because when I recorded this video, I got a message there from Instagram and it just says that you give me so much peace, your musics are great. So after reading that message from Instagram, I also was thinking about, so how can you sort of be less reliant on the big companies like Spotify and DistroKid and all of that stuff? And I have been thinking in those terms, and I have been focusing more on making my own website and focusing on Bandcamp, for example. So my supporters on Bandcamp often get my music the first before getting it on Spotify. I mean, one download on Bandcamp, if someone supports me, it's like 500 streams. So, of course, I'm going to cater for the people that support me directly. Of course, they are going to get the stuff first before the general gray masses. And I hope that more artists do this way. It's a lot of more work. You have to make your own email list. You have to sort of go through some hoops to build this. But I think long term it's more important to talk directly to your audience instead of going through stuff like Spotify and other big tech companies. We have to use them now. It's just the way it is. But I am actively working to try to cut them out. But I can't cut them out, or I won't cut them out. But that's my thought about that issue, at least. I mean, this is why I do this. I think it's amazing that people can actually comment and share what they think. And to avoid burnout, I think the most important part is that allowing myself to not sit here and talking to you. That may sound a little bit strange because I do like making these videos, but you know, when things happen in your life, you have to attend to that. If that means that I don't upload a video in a month or two, my YouTube channel is going to go down. When I have my day job, that's just fine because my income is going anyway. It's the same thing with music production. The recommendation here is that you release music, let's say every 6 to 8 weeks. So that means that I have to have music ready, but it's not like I'm going to force any music production to just have it ready. If it's not ready, it's not ready, and my statistics on Spotify will go down. But does that really matter? Isn't it more important to have something of a real quality, not just upload something to just please some sort of algorithm or something like that? And I think that's the main core of my thinking here in terms of avoiding burnout, is that you have to allow yourself to sort of let your numbers go down, be fine with that, go out with your family, do stuff, play that video game, knowing that your Spotify streams will go down. If you're not dependent on the income, And I mean, if you are dependent on the income, obviously you have to maybe think another way than that. But I think the sort of spirit of that thought can also be applied if you are just doing creator stuff all the time. Then I would perhaps, if I did this full time, I would more focus on what pays the bills. So instead of talking about this issue here, I would probably instead take up the latest iPhone. So I am going to order the iPhone 17 and talk about that, because that's content that earns more money. And it's also something that I am interested in. I think it's important. You have to make room for things you need to do, and you have to allow yourself to make room for the things you need to do without having a bad conscience, internet points going down. I mean, life is now. Life isn't in 5 years when you have reached your goals, or in 10 years. Life is happening now, and you have to make something that is sustainable in the now. Because if you can't do that, what are you supposed to do when you have reached your goal? Are you going to sit and play games now, or are you just going to find even more money or even more fame or whatever? Yeah, that's my sort of rambling about this issue. I'm actually going to make ads for my next release, because now I'm fired up. Thank you for watching. If you want to support, I have my sort of own hosted Patreon below. You can also be a YouTube channel member. It's sort of the same thing. You just have to choose what suits you the best. Any support is of course appreciated. And if you have any thoughts, you can share them in the comments below, and I will talk to you in the next video. Goodbye.